Hello and welcome to this episode of the Print on Demand Playbook podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Von Arx, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about all things Christmas. Yes, Christmas, because before we know it, the Christmas season is going to be in full swing, and that means Christmas product sales are going to skyrocket. So in this episode, I'm going to be sharing why you should consider adding Christmas products or Christmas-inspired designs to your shop, 10 super hot print-on-demand products to sell in 2023. And I'm going to share with you one of the hottest Christmas design trends that you need to try. But first, real quick, before we begin, if you have not already, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast. It helps us reach new listeners and it helps you never miss an episode. So thank you so much for being a listener. We are so grateful for you. And just before we hop in, here's a quick word from this episode's sponsor.
This podcast is brought to you by Gelato, the world's largest print-on-demand network. Gelato enables individuals ranging from e-commerce entrepreneurs to artists and creatives to establish their own global business. The magic of Gelato is that they focus on local production. The item being delivered is produced in the country that the order is placed almost 90% of the time, leading to many benefits such as lower costs, faster delivery times, and most importantly, reducing carbon emissions. The focus on tech to knit together over 130 production facilities across 32 countries is truly unique. Thanks to this, they currently have the highest customer satisfaction score in the print-on-demand industry on Trustpilot. To check them out for yourself, go to sixfigurefounder.com/gelato and use the discount code PODPlaybook, all capital letters, to get 60% off your first order when placed within 72 hours. That's the number 6figurefounder.com/GELATO. You can also find the link and discount code in the podcast show notes or in the video description on YouTube.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Print on Demand Playbook podcast. I'm going to be flying solo again today to talk to you about Christmas. Yes, Christmas. I know what you're thinking. Is it too early to start talking about Christmas? I do not think so. Here's why. At the time of this recording, we are less than 2 weeks away from Halloween. And what happens as soon as Halloween is done? There is a massive, essentially overnight shift to Christmas. People start getting into holiday mode. We start seeing Christmas trees go up, Christmas lights go up, and people start thinking about shopping. So as business owners, this is really where we should start planning out our Christmas strategy so that we're not left doing things at the last minute or we feel burnt out and overwhelmed and end up not doing anything at all. So in this episode, we're actually going to be talking about a couple things. I'm really excited to talk about this because I feel like if you can get this stuff kind of figured out now, if you can start taking action on your Christmas plans now, you're going to have a head start and it's going to be a lot more relaxing for you. The holidays are going to be a lot more relaxing for you. So in this episode, we're going to talk about why you should consider selling Christmas products, 10 of the hottest selling Christmas products to add to your shop in 2023, and then one of the hottest selling Christmas design trends, which maybe some of you know about, maybe some of you don't, but I definitely recommend checking this out. So we're going to jump in and get into this. I just want to do one thing that is a tradition on this podcast, and that is to shout out one of our incredible listeners. So we really appreciate when you take the time to write us reviews. If you're enjoying the podcast, tell us what you like about it and what you're getting out of it. We are very grateful for this, and we always try to shout you guys out because we want to show love for the people who show love to us. So this is a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts from JMS Robbins. And the heading is Trusted and Sincere. The review says, trusted and sincere are two qualities that always bubble up in conversations when I suggest print-on-demand playbook to my friends. While Carrie and Adrian have a responsibility for the successes of their own paid coaching, they never hold anything back that will encourage, inspire, or help followers. Thank you. Man, I never get tired reading these reviews. They really keep us going. They're extremely inspiring. And sometimes we forget because these are pre recorded, these are not live. So sometimes we forget the impact we're having until we read reviews like this. And this absolutely makes us want to keep going, keep delivering, and just keep leading with value. That was always the goal of the podcast: lead with value. So thank you so much, JMS Robbins. I really appreciate you. We really appreciate you. And if you guys are loving the podcast, if you are getting a lot of value out of it, please consider leaving us a review. We would love to hear from you, and you'll likely get a shout out. So with that, let's transition into kind of the main event. So we're going to break this up into 3 parts, like I mentioned earlier: why you should consider selling Christmas products, 10 of the hottest selling Christmas products we recommend selling in 2023, or at least consider selling. Not all of them might be relevant to your niche, but these are just products that we believe are going to be very, very hot sellers based on past data. And then one of the hottest selling Christmas design trends. So let's jump in and talk about why you should consider selling Christmas products. Simply put, this is where the attention is in the fourth quarter, and it's also where a massive amount of sales are going to come from, especially after Halloween. Have you ever noticed that the day after Halloween, many shops already have Christmas products for sale? They're decked out in Christmas decorations, and even coffee shops like Starbucks have their Christmas drinks and displays up. That is because as soon as Halloween is over, the people's attention shifts to Christmas in a very big way. Not only that, people love getting into the holiday spirit by decorating their homes, sipping their gingerbread lattes, and of course, wearing Christmas-inspired apparel. Can you guess what the number 1 retail category is during the Christmas season? It's clothing and accessories, with a whopping 73% of shoppers purchasing this product category, according to a study from Deloitte. But it's not just shirts. There are so many other items that sell like hotcakes during this time. So I encourage you not to just test Christmas inspired t-shirts and apparel, but also consider adding other product types during the holiday season. It's important to remember, this is the biggest shopping season of the year. Most people are not just shopping for themselves, but they're on the hunt for Christmas gifts as well. And if there's any time to experiment with new products types, I would say this is it. And just before I hop into some of the most popular Christmas inspired products, I just want to encourage you also to focus on creating non-Christmas inspired products and designs. And I know that that sounds a little confusing since this episode is all about Christmas products. But the reason I say this is because many people are purchasing and gifting non-Christmas inspired products. What I like about this too is that if you can create a winning design or product that is not pegged to a holiday, it can make you a ton of sales far past Christmas and all year round. Those are personally my favorite types of winning products. We call them evergreen. They're not pegged to any sort of occasion. They can sell all year round. They're just as relevant all year round. And the reason I like them is because the sales don't nosedive after the holidays. That said, there is no doubt that people are purchasing a ton of Christmas inspired designs and products. So we're going to look at some of the hottest selling print on demand products during the holiday season. So what I've done is I've collected 10 hot selling Christmas products that I recommend you consider to sell this year in your store. Now, some may make sense, some may not. It's kind of challenging because this is being broadcast to all types of businesses. So you're going to have to decide which ones make sense for you and which ones don't. So here are 10 of the best selling print on demand holiday products you may want to consider adding to your shop in 2023 in no particular order. So, number one is Christmas ornaments. I have heard of so many brands that kill it with Christmas ornaments. The nice thing about them is you can make them pretty much for any niche, but there also is a lot less competition because a lot of brands, including a lot of apparel brands, aren't selling this. This is a very unique product. It is a totally different product category. Christmas ornaments are one of the best selling Christmas products and are very popular leading up to the big day. People love using them to decorate their trees and even give as a gift. Some people put them other places. You can sell ornaments with Christmas characters, with funny phrases or designs, with niche specific content like a phrase, with Christmas symbols and more. Or you can personalize them with things like people's names or photos or even pets' names or photos, which is becoming more and more common. So if you're in the dog niche, if you're in the cat niche, maybe you want to consider this. Personalized products are extremely popular. Not many big brands, like big apparel brands, are doing personalized products. This is a huge opportunity. The product is completely original, and a lot of times people will even pay more for a personalized product. So, number one is Christmas ornaments. Number two is pet costumes. So, did you know that you can create Christmas inspired pet costumes with print on demand? That's right, you can create pet hoodies and pet tank tops with festive or funny designs. And it's funny because my mother, I realize, is actually one of these people. She buys Christmas sweaters for her dogs and she sends us hilarious photos of them in their sweaters by the Christmas tree every single Christmas. And while this may seem like an obvious product for brands in the dog and cat niche, it can even work well for other niches as well, since so many people in the world with other interests that are in other niches also own pets. For example, the dog and coffee niches have large overlapping audiences. So if you were in the coffee niche, let's say, you could consider creating limited edition dog hoodies with a funny and relatable design or slogan. I actually saw a really funny dog hoodie online recently that looked like the Starbucks logo, but instead it said Starbucks Puppuccino. And instead of the mermaid, it had like a paw image in the middle. I thought that was hilarious. I've seen a lot of other ones as well. So you can have fun with this. You can create things, really cool, emotion evoking, and relatable designs, even if your main niche is something else. For example, in this example, I was just saying the coffee niche, but for people that also own dogs. There are a lot of coffee lovers who also own dogs. This is a commonly known overlapping niche. So, number two is pet costumes. Number three is Christmas stockings. Now, some of these things you probably are thinking, I didn't even know that you could print these on demand. Guys, the print on demand catalog keeps expanding across pretty much every print on demand company. It keeps getting bigger. It seems like every day there's a new product that we can print on demand. So this third one is Christmas stockings. Now, this is a very hot selling product during the holidays for obvious reasons, because many people hang Christmas stockings in their homes. I mean, you probably hang Christmas stockings in your homes, or maybe when you were growing up, they were hung in your homes. Maybe they're hanging them to hold gifts for family members. Maybe they're just for decoration, which is also really popular. Or maybe they're even for their pet. It's not uncommon to have stockings for pets with their names on them that are filled with treats. So with print on demand at Christmas stockings, you can add holiday patterns, symbols, images, or text. Number 4 is mugs. Yes, we got to bring back some classics. Mugs are a classic. Mugs are another very hot selling item during Christmas because one, they're very giftable. Two, they're great for family and friends. And three, they're just really popular because everybody drinks coffee and tea, it seems. Who doesn't own mugs? So if you want to take it a step further, what you can actually do is you can sell personalized mugs with names, imagery, and other design elements. This could be a classic mug, which is the one that you probably most commonly see with print on demand companies, just a standard kind of white mug or a black mug. But another kind of mug that's really popular, especially around the holidays, that I'm starting to see more and more is the enamel mugs. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but if you just Google enamel mugs, you'll see what they look like. They're kind of, they seem a bit wider and a bit shorter, and then they kind of come out at the very top. I don't really know how to explain them, but if you Google it, you'll see what I mean. And there are print on demand companies that do offer this. It's very popular for drinking, you know, hot festive drinks or, you know, your coffee or wine, whatever it is. These are very popular, especially for camping. I find that these enamel mugs, a lot of people take them camping. I think it's because they're more durable and they're less likely to break compared to the sort of standard mugs that you're used to seeing. All right, shifting gears to number 5, and that is candles. Candles are another super popular print on demand product during the holidays because, like mugs, they're very giftable, and a lot of people, myself included, love burning candles around Christmas time. Like, I love burning candles all year round. You can actually see a candle in the background here. I've got so many candles, it's not even funny. But there's something about the holidays that it's just very, I don't know, it feels very festive burning candles. So I think I burn candles the most during the holidays, but I just love that they're really easy to gift, they're small, and they're just kind of like a crowd pleaser in terms of gifts. A lot of people use them as decorations. A lot of people love burning them, especially around the holidays, like I mentioned. All right, number 6 is wine tumblers. Similar to mugs, wine tumblers are extremely giftable and they're just fun to drink wine in during the holidays, especially if it's a Christmas inspired design. So you can sell tumblers all year round because lots of people use them. Lots of people use them year round. But if you're looking to create some Christmas inspired designs, you might want to consider wine tumblers. These are very popular around Christmas time as, you know, people are in the holiday spirit. A lot of them have time off work. A lot of them are relaxing with friends and family, and a lot of them drink wine. So wine tumblers can be a really good option to add to your shop. Number 7 is beanies. Now, I think beanies are a unsung hero, and you don't hear much about them, but they are extremely popular in the fall as we get closer to winter and as the temperatures start to drop. Like hats, beanies are lightweight, they're cheap to ship, and they have way less competition than something like a t-shirt. Also, they're one size fits most, so you get very few returns of them due to them not fitting. Now, just a pro tip, this is something that I do and I definitely recommend you do if you're selling hats. And if you have a best-selling design, I highly recommend adding that best-selling hat design on a beanie and add it to your shop. This has worked super well for me and can definitely work well for others because while people do wear hats all year round, especially here in the desert in Arizona where I am, a lot of people, they prefer beanies when it's colder. They're just made to insulate the head more. And so it makes a lot of sense, especially in the cold states, the cold provinces, the cold countries. Beanies become really, really popular. And I just feel like they just don't get talked about enough. We've made a ton of beanie sales, and it's as easy as adding your best selling hat designs to a beanie, releasing it in an email, releasing it on social media, releasing it in a text message if you're collecting text messages and doing text message marketing. These can be a great seller around kind of September, October is when I would recommend dropping these, and they can sell well into the new year. Because keep in mind, a lot of places, they're cold long after January. Some places aren't warming up till March. So they can sell really, really well. And you can keep them all year round. You'll probably notice kind of like hoodies that the prime time to sell them is transitioning into fall and transitioning out of winter. And then spring, summer, just they're not as big of sellers. But hey, that's where you re-release new awesome hats. That is where hats shine. And just an FYI, hats are my best-selling product of all time. This is something that I've said before, similar to beanies. Again, way less competition. They're super lightweight, meaning lower shipping costs. And they get very few returns because most hats are one size fits most. All right, but I digress. We are moving on to number 8, and that is Christmas pajamas. So, pajamas are another super popular holiday item that you can print on demand and sell on your shop. You can sell pajama sets, or you can sell all over pajama pants. As an alternative to a full pajama set, another option is to sell pajama pants with a matching t-shirt. The shirt could make a great upsell, or you could bundle them together and have a bundled product, which it's always much better selling 2 products instead of 1. So if you can get someone to buy the entire set, that means more sales for you and more profit. Now, I have seen some hilarious pajamas. Maybe you've seen these, maybe you haven't. You can get so creative with this product, but I've seen pajamas, full pajama sets, and pajama pants where people put their partner, like their husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, all over the pajama pants. And you'll see the man wearing the pajama pants with his wife or girlfriend's photo all over them. And then you'll see the wife wearing the pajama pants with her husband or boyfriend's photo all over them. They're hilarious. There's so many other ways that I've seen people just get really creative with this. And this might be something that you want to introduce. All right, number 9. And this is another one that I like for a number of reasons. It can sell good all year round, but I think it really sells well around Christmas time because it's so giftable. And that is jewelry. So I don't know, there's so many things I could say about jewelry. 1, it's small and lightweight, meaning super low shipping costs. 2, there's much less competition in jewelry than apparel. It's just, there's a lot less brands that are selling it. And 3 is that jewelry can be marked up a lot. Like you can make a massive profit margin with jewelry, more than a lot of other products. So this is something that you may want to consider. Christmas is a great time to test this out, and maybe even a great time just to introduce it as a product category that you have all year round. Now, some of these items, you might want to just release them for the holidays and try to get a whole bunch of sales during the holidays, and then take them off your shop and reintroduce them next year around this time. Or if it's a product category that does really, really well for you, I would consider keeping them on your store all year round. Now, let's say you're doing pajama bottoms and they're all Christmas inspired pajama bottoms and they're doing great. Well, those ones I would probably take off my shop after Christmas, but instead I would also consider adding and testing other pajama bottoms, because if they did good with your audience, with your subscribers, with your followers, with your past customers for Christmas, there's actually a pretty good chance that they could do well with them all year round. So what you can do is you can start creating evergreen designs, which I talked about earlier, are the designs that are not pegged to any occasion or holiday, and you can try selling those all year round. Remember, there's more people shopping in the fourth quarter during the holiday season than any other time of the year. So this is a great opportunity to test new products, to test new product types, decide what does well, what doesn't do well, and then moving forward, you can make your decision based on the data. So if you tested, pajama pants and jewelry, and you notice that jewelry absolutely crushed it for you for Christmas, guess what? I would strongly recommend that you keep jewelry as a product category and maybe start creating it for other holidays and occasions. You've got Mother's Day, you've got Valentine's Day, you've got so many occasions where you can offer jewelry. And during those occasions, especially, there's a lot of people looking for that. That is a very, very popular gift. All right, number 10, we got to talk about one of the most popular apparel products of all times. And no, it's not t-shirts, although I think t-shirts are awesome in the Christmas season. And yes, they sell very, very well. Even when it's cold out, t-shirts are like an evergreen product. They sell well all year round. However, the one that I recommend, number 10, last but not least, and one of the most popular items I see sold during the holidays are sweatshirts. And particularly around this time, ugly Christmas sweatshirts. These have been popular for a number of years. Ever since I started in print on demand, these have been popular every single Christmas, and they just keep making a comeback. I guarantee you they're gonna be big again this Christmas. I've even seen some already released. So there's no doubt these are going to do well. They can have funny slogans, they can have imagery, or they can have holiday patterns, and they can sell like crazy around this time of the year. So this is something that I highly recommend testing out for your shop. Try testing at least one ugly Christmas sweater. Try to make it niche specific. There are so many ways that you can do this. Make it specific for your niche, but make it look like an ugly Christmas sweater. And that actually leads me to the hottest selling Christmas design trend. This is one of the hottest selling Christmas design trends that I see year over year. And that is the ugly Christmas sweater design. It doesn't have to be on a sweatshirt. It can be on a hoodie. It can be on a t-shirt. It can be on a tote. It can be on lots of things. But without a doubt, one of the hottest design trends every Christmas is the ugly Christmas sweater trend. So they just call it the ugly Christmas sweater, even though you can put it on a lot of other things. And just to clarify, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just Google funny, ugly Christmas sweater, and you'll see just a massive array of hilarious, ugly Christmas sweater designs. Usually they have that kind of pixelated looking font and graphics. So maybe it'll have a bunch of little pixelated snowflakes going across on one line. And then below that, it might have a bunch of pixelated hearts going across on the other line. Then it might have an image in the middle that's also pixelated, or a funny slogan that's pixelated. You probably know what I'm talking about, but if not, just Google funny, ugly Christmas sweater and you'll know when you see it. You'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. I've seen those before. There are even entire parties around ugly Christmas sweater. Like, who hasn't been to an ugly Christmas sweater party? I have been to too many to count. And I'm sure a lot of people listening have been to these as well. People just love getting festive. And one of the ways people love having, I notice particularly funny holiday clothing. I always call humor the low-hanging fruit because it evokes emotion. And if it's relatable to your niche, a lot of people are gonna wanna wear it. They're gonna wanna rep it. And if you can create a funny, relatable, ugly Christmas sweater design, man, you have potential to absolutely kill it during the holiday season. And I want to give you a pro tip. So if you're looking for an ugly Christmas sweater font, my personal favorite place to find these is Creative Fabrica. They actually have multiple ugly Christmas sweater fonts, including one of my favorites called none other than Ugly Christmas Sweater by SVG Cuttables. So what you're going to notice is they actually have more than one called Ugly Christmas Sweater because a lot of people just know what that means. But look for the one, if you're using Creative Fabrica, look for the one specifically by SVG Cuttables. Now, what I love about this font is that not only does it have the pixelated alphabet in both uppercase and lowercase, how it also has elements. So it has ugly Christmas sweater elements such as snowflakes, hearts, reindeers, and a whole lot more. So you can really, just with that font and the elements, you should be able to create a ton of designs. And I highly recommend trying it. If you find an ugly Christmas sweater font somewhere else that you love, awesome. Use that. Use whatever you want. But Creative Fabrica is just the one that I use and recommend. I really like it. I think it's the best personally. And just for anyone that hasn't heard of Creative Fabrica, it's a marketplace that I use and recommend for design graphics, fonts, and mockups. They have over 7 million design graphics and more than 129,000 fonts that you can use to create your t-shirt and apparel designs, like the ugly Christmas sweater font. It seems like they have a font for everything. Like if you're looking for a certain font, like ugly Christmas sweater, you just type in ugly Christmas sweater and search by fonts. You'll actually find a whole bunch. And I am an affiliate for Creative Fabrica since I use it a lot myself. And so if you do want to check them out, I'll drop a link in the show notes where you can get a bunch of free resources. They actually have a ton of free stuff. Or if you want, you can also sign up for the All Access Pass, which is the plan that I have. And it's only $4.99 a month right now. So if that's something that you want to check out, I'll drop it in the show notes. Check it out if you want. Either way, it doesn't matter to me where you get your ugly Christmas sweater font. I just want you to jump on this trend. No matter what niche you're in, I want you to jump on this trend. And I challenge you, for everybody listening, if you are participating in this fourth quarter, and by participating, I mean you are trying to make sales. You have your business, you have your Shopify website up, maybe you have some marketplaces up like Etsy. Wherever you are, I recommend testing out an ugly Christmas sweater design. You can test out multiple. Like, it's not like everyone's going to be a hit, right? It needs to really click with people. But you can drop an entire collection of ugly Christmas sweater designs if you want. And what you could even do, one thing that I really like to do is I like to remix winning designs. Like take a winning design or a winning slogan and then remix it. So make it different in some way and then release it as a totally new product. So this is kind of another pro tip that I just am thinking about on the fly, but I definitely recommend you do this. So if you do have a bestseller, this would be kind of low-hanging fruit. If let's say you have a best-selling slogan that's crushing it right now, I challenge you to create a product or products with that same slogan, but make it in an ugly Christmas sweater design, ugly Christmas sweater inspired design, and release that as a totally new product because it is a totally new product. And don't be surprised if this absolutely crushes it for you, because if they liked that slogan on one shirt, they're very likely going to like it on another. And because this is going to be Christmas themed, it's actually making it even more relevant for the time of the year. So this could be awesome for during the holiday season. Maybe the ugly Christmas sweater design will kind of nosedive after Christmas. That's normal because people stop wearing, generally, I can't speak for everybody, generally people stop wearing ugly Christmas sweater designs after Christmas. That's totally cool. What you can do is you can find another way to remix the design that isn't Christmas inspired, and you can release that as a new product. This is one way that I love to scale up winning designs, introducing them on different special edition colors, introducing them with different fonts or with different graphics, or in this case, for special occasions or holidays. There's so many ways that you can just squeeze more out of every winning design. And I'm telling you from experience and from the experience of a lot of my students, you can ride these designs for years. And every time you create one that's new or different, even if it has the same slogan, it has potential not only to make you a ton of sales, but also to be a winner again. So don't be surprised if you see that. So that is it for this episode. I just wanted to get you excited and just kind of prepare you for what's to come, because before you know it, everything around you is going to be about Christmas. And keep in mind, people aren't buying the Christmas designs at Christmas. They're buying them in the lead up to Christmas. And what you're going to notice is as soon as Halloween, is done, there is going to be just a massive shift to Christmas. You're going to start hearing Christmas music. You're going to start seeing Christmas lights. You're going to start seeing Christmas decorations everywhere. And you're going to start seeing people wearing Christmas-inspired designs. So I challenge you. I want you to get in on this. People are looking for this stuff. Consider offering new product types for the holidays that people can use to decorate their homes, decorate their trees, to gift to other people. And those can be apparel or non-apparel items. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. Thank you so much for being a listener. I appreciate every single one of you. And I wish you all the best this holiday season and a very, very successful fourth quarter. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Print on Demand Playbook podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, will you please leave us an honest review on whichever platform you're listening from? We really appreciate it. We really love hearing from you, and we love shouting you out in our episodes. So thank you so much again in advance. Thank you for being a listener, and we'll talk to you very, very soon.